Well, you played for 9 clubs in your career, Mark, and in that time you actually notched up a few sort of records. We've mentioned already that you were one of the only goalkeepers to save a penalty in the FA Cup final, but you were also the first person to score an own goal in the newly formed Premier League. Is that right?
I knew you was going to remind me of that. I knew you was going to bring that up. Yeah, I am. 1992-93 season was the first season of the Premier League, and I was the guy that scored the first ever Premier League own goal. So I am in the record books, but for the wrong reasons as well. So that's, yeah, we got beat 4-1 on the day, and there's a couple of minutes to go in the game. We were playing Blackburn Rovers away, and I made an horrendous error. And I've gone down in history as it being the first ever Premier League own goal. So that can never be beaten.
Sorry for that. But there are some good stats coming as well. You did score a goal at the right end. I think it was your 481st match when you scored a pretty crucial goal, actually.
Yeah, I was playing for Sheffield Wednesday at the time, and we were playing against Southampton, and there was a minute to go on the clock, and we were 3-2 down at the time. Brian Lowe's an ex-teammate of mine, Nottingham Forest, was a manager of Sheffield Wednesday, and I looked over to the bench. We got a corner in the last minute. I looked over to the bench to Brian and I said, should I go up for the corner? And he's going, get back in that goal. You'll never get back up the pitch. You can't run and all that, he's saying. But the goalkeeping coach was stood behind him going, go on, get yourself forward. So I decided to go and ignore the manager. And I got on the end of the corner and scored an header. I like to call it a bullet header. And I like to say that I actually rose like a salmon, but I've been told it was more like a beach whale. But now, yeah, so yeah, I'm part of the goalkeeping goal scorers union, which
excellent.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to celebrate because I'm used to being up the other end, stopping the ball going to the goal. So when I scored, I'm like, what do I do now?
What did you do?
Anyway, I just ran towards the Sheffield Wednesday supporters and just tried to give it all, you know, and then you got 27,000 fans cheering your name. So yeah, I think that it's one of the biggest buzzers I've in football I've ever had, I must say.
Brilliant. And you know, another fantastic stat that I think you're probably best known for, the only goalkeeper ever to save a Matt Le Tissier penalty. And I know that's one that you like to remind people about on Twitter. I've seen a couple of things during lockdown where you've reenacted it. So obviously, yeah, a great memory for you and something that still comes up regularly.
It is, because again, Matt Le Tissier took 49 penalties in his career, and he scored 48. At the time when I saved his penalty, he was on 20 penalties without missing. So a lot of things came from that. Like I speak about it on the after dinner circuit, and Matt, I must say, is absolutely brilliant about it. So I can't remember the actual day it was on or the date, but when it comes around, he always sends me a message on Twitter saying, this is the worst day of my life. So he's brilliant about it. He's such a great guy, and he's we have a little bit of banter about it. I tell him that I'm still living off it for that one moment, but he's great with it. And he got voted into the Hall of Fame in Southampton, 100 greatest players. So he had all his ex-managers there talking, and his agent rang me and said, can you come down and have a bit of fun, obviously, about the penalty? So Dan Walker was there. He was asking him questions about his career. All his managers were coming on. And it was in a big theatre in Southampton. And what they'd done is they'd actually wheeled a full-size goal onto the stage, and they had floodlights shining down. And at the end of the interview, Dan Walker said to Matt, he says, there is one thing that's not so good about your career, and that is that, well, you scored, well, it is a good thing. You scored 48 penalties, but you missed one. Now's your chance to redeem yourself, he said. So the curtains went back and I was stood there in the goal. So Matt steps up to take a penalty again, and I actually saved the penalty again. So I've saved 2 penalties against him, but only one official one.
That is brilliant, brilliant. And I know Matt Le Tissier is a great guy, so nice that you that banter. Great memories.
Yeah, great memories. I mean, I wouldn't change anything. I've got no regrets of anything that I did or in the game, and I'm thankful that football's actually given me in my life that I've actually had, including being able to own grounds, expensive grounds.